Hello, my name is Daniel Villa and I am a printmaker without a press, and I work from right here, my home studio. So if you're interested in learning more about Linocut printmaking and woodcut printmaking, then you're in the right place. So let's dive into the video. In order to get started with printmaking, you really need only a very basic set. And that basic set is going to start with the very first thing, which is your linoleum cutter. This is probably the most affordable one you'll be able to find just about anywhere. They sell them at all the arts and crafts stores, and you can also find it at Amazon. This is the Speedable Linocutter. The benefit of having one of these is that it's super affordable. Not only that, as you can tell, there's no cutter right here in the front, but when you open this up, it comes with a little set of cutting tools, and you can basically change these tools up as you really see necessary. So this is the greatest benefit of this tool. It is honestly the best place to start for any beginner at the most affordable rate. If you're thinking of getting into Linocut and you want to do this for the long run, then I would recommend you get a set of tools that will last you beyond what this will be able to give you. And that is to get yourself a set of woodworking tools. I have this set that I got on Amazon. They're power grip, and what I love about these tools is that they come in a nice wooden handle, and the steel with which it's made is very sturdy. And as long as you keep these honed, they're really gonna last a long time. They're great for linoleum and they're great for wood. So if you're thinking of, once again, diving further into Linocut and printmaking on its own, relief printmaking, then this is a great tool to have. So once you have your Linocutter, you obviously are gonna need linoleum. I personally recommend that you start with the real stuff, which is the traditional battleship linoleum, which is this. It comes in this color. Linoleum is a natural material, man-made product. So you basically have resin, and then you have cork, linseed oil, and then it's all heated up to create this material, which it is flexible enough, but also sturdy enough to be carved. Typically in the back, they have a burlap backing, which just kind of holds the whole thing together. This is a great material to work. You can learn with it, but you can also get some really high details with this. So I always recommend folks start with this. Next, you're gonna need, obviously, the ink. So the ink, there's different spots you can start. Right here, I have some water-based ink. And this ink, as you can imagine, you can clean it up with just soap and water, which is very easy for beginners. The one thing about water-based inks, depending on where you live, it's drying time. I live in California. We have very long summers, and our summers are very hot and dry. So when I work with water-based inks, they tend to dry rather quickly. That also goes, I also take into consideration my space, because this studio where I have faces the west. So typically in the afternoons, I don't like to work with water-based inks because usually the studio is warmer and it's just drier and it just doesn't cooperate really well. You're really gonna be applying more ink as you go. If you're looking to have a more intermediate introduction to printmaking inks, is to go with the Speedable Professional Relief inks. This is sort of water miscible, so it means that you can clean it up with soap and water, and it's gonna give you the working time of an oil-based ink without having to worry about cleaning up oil-based ink. Oil-based inks do not clean up with soap and water, and you do have to either get a vegetable oil involved or a solvent to clean them up. A benefit of this particular ink is that you do not have to worry about that. After your ink, the next item that you're gonna need is really gonna be your brayer. Or in printmaking terms, a brayer is just basically another word for a roller. So I have a couple set of rollers. This is actually the roller that I started with, and it is a foam roller. So this is about a 6-inch brayer. This was also something that we found on Amazon. My partner actually found this on Amazon for me, and it's a great tool to start with. They also come in different sizes. This one is a soft rubber brayer, which, as you can imagine, it is made out of rubber and is fairly soft. I either will recommend that you get a soft rubber brayer to start with, or get a foam roller. I would not recommend getting a hard rubber brayer when you're starting. The inks sometimes they just don't work well, and personally I haven't had a very pleasant experience with them to where I would recommend them to you. So after our brayer, our ink, then we're gonna move on to a spoon. And yes, I mean a spoon. In order to transfer your design from the matrix into your piece of paper, you're gonna need something to rub or burnish your paper so that that design transfers over. You can get a Brayer, or if you don't have access to a Brayer or won't like to get one, this is a Brayer. So it's just basically a tool that you grab and you burnish the paper right on the bottom. You burnish the paper on top, which will then transfer your design to the paper. Sure, if you could afford this, go ahead and get it. This one was around 20 something dollars when I got it, around 21, and a spoon that I got from my kitchen was basically free. And they do the exact same job. Sometimes a spoon can get you better results depending on your paper, but if you're just starting off, just go with a spoon. Lastly, the last item we're gonna need in order to get started with printmaking is going to be paper. And paper, once you're getting started, is something that you have a lot of range with. Paper, you're gonna learn, is a very complicated material when it comes to printmaking. There's so many options, but if you're just starting off, start off with simple printer paper or with whatever paper you really have. If you want to get something that will give you better results and something you may not be struggling so much with, then I recommend getting simple mixed media paper or drawing paper. This is literally from a sketchbook that I took out, and when I started printmaking, I started using sheets of paper from my sketchbooks. And this paper, especially mixed media paper, it is sturdy enough to resist the burnishing of the spoon once you're at the back, but it's also sufficient enough to where it will absorb the ink without the paper getting all wonky. So you definitely want to get that. So this concludes our list of our basic kit to get started with Linocut printmaking. Next video, we're gonna be going over how to get comfortable with linoleum and doing some linoleum exercises so that you get an idea of what your tools does. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, share it, hit the notification button. You know what to do. Until then, this was Daniel Villa, and happy printmaking.